Alex Polizzi is an award-winning hotelier with over 20 years' experience of working in the world's most luxurious hotels. For the past 6 years, she's been hammering on the doors of Britain's most desperate hotels and B&Bs. Locking horns with outrageous owners.
You're clearly a sandwich or two short of a lunchbox.
And their dodgy decor.
What's wrong with the wallpaper on the walls?
Eye-popping.
And now she's going back to see whether some of her biggest challenges have smartened up.
It doesn't add much to the hotel, does it?
Or fallen back into their bad old ways.
We're talking about now, love. We're talking this is year zero.
Yes, love.
This week, the hotel inspector returns to the Meudon, a Cornish country house hotel where hopes of a brighter future were stuck firmly in the past.
It's done up like God's waiting room.
Some people think old-fashioned is a negative. We thrive on the fact that it's a positive.
The decorator deserves to be bitch-slapped.
2 years on, will Alex be left feeling refreshed?
I'm dying to see what changes you've made.
And there's a new proposition to pocket a pretty profit.
So these people are coming in an hour.
The Meudon, a 29-bedroomed hotel near Falmouth, Cornwall, set in 8 acres of subtropical gardens leading to its own private beach, run by the Pilgrims.
It means everything to me. There's so many memories, very, very happy memories.
85-year-old chairman of the board, Harry, and his son, general manager, Mark.
Rolling home to dear old England.
A two-man team with a unique understanding of their working relationship.
I can make any decision I like as long as it meets with his approval.
Yes.
My father and I have conversations. He's if I'm still 5 years old. The carpet we're sat on.
Sitting.
Thank you, Dad. The carpet we're sitting on, it exists in Buckingham Palace in blues and gold, and we've got it in pink and green.
Hotel Inspector Alex Polizzi has been called in to help the struggling family business.
It's probably fair to say that our customer base is between 60 and dead.
To find out where the Pilgrims are going wrong, Alex will stay the night.
How's business at the moment?
Like the school report. Could do better.
With a choice of 29 bedrooms, including 3 executive rooms and 2 suites, for his distinguished guest, Mark has reserved a standard.
And here is your room.
How much is this room?
This time of the year would be £110 per person.
It seems cheap for one and expensive for two.
I think it's more that one person's half the price of two rather than the other way around.
This is quite an old-fashioned room. Obviously, there's a few problems with furniture, a bit of staining.
Unfortunately, she's been really put in the wrong room. How that happened, I don't know. I'd like her to have one of our executive rooms just a few doors down from where she is. And there's no reason why she shouldn't have been put there in the first place.
This is even more dire than the room I'm in. These headboards are awful, as are this little set of chairs. There's not a big market for this kind of room anymore. Whatever they think, country house or not country house, the world has moved on considerably since rooms were like this. It's just the way it is.
She's probably going to suggest a lot of changes that after 40 years I'm not too keen to do.
A suite, I suppose. First time I've ever seen a pelmet on sliding doors. Awful sofa. The decorator deserves to be bitch-slapped. Incredibly ugly. All in all, I'm quite glad I'm in the room that they gave me because I would find this room very, very depressing.
Things are no better downstairs.
This looks like an old people's home. It's kind of done up like God's waiting room.
And as for fine dining,
It is really a shame that a restaurant that has such a stunning view is such an ugliness. It's got amazing natural light, and yet it's got that repulsive red brick wall. Why? I've rarely seen a restaurant that I dislike this much. It's like time has stood still.
To find out more, Alex meets with
Good
Mark.
afternoon. Who does the decorating in this place?
Well, I think that really falls down to me.
There's an awful lot of pink.
It's what we've always had.
You seem to me to be number 2 to your dad. Do you have the vision to change things, do you think? Or are you just kind of chugging along in a well-worn path?
A little bit of both. I have the vision, but I perhaps don't have the enthusiasm to take that vision through. Dad actually wants to die at work, and I don't want to. This is my father's baby. See you later.
I found that really hard, and Mark is obviously desperate. It does feel like a very, very heavy burden.
I commute daily through 2.5 inches of door. And even when I'm not at work, I am at work. To be fair, I think I've given it all, and there ain't a lot left to give.
Alex realises that to propel the Meudon into the 21st century, first she has to win over Harry.
She's requested that I have dinner with her tonight, just the two of us.
Can Alex persuade my father where I have failed? I have my doubts.
Forgive me not getting up.
Please don't. I'm looking forward to trying out your food.
Well, I hope it comes up to scratch. The AA took away our rosette a long time ago and have not given them back.
Let me try the food, and then
Yes.
I'll see what
You'll
I
see
can...
what you think, yes?
I will see what I can suggest.
That would be nice. We get Mark to take the glasses.
I'll take your glass for you. Let go of it when it's on the tray.
It didn't want to let go.
Oh, right.
And there's a familiar face taking their dinner order.
Well, with the sea at the bottom of the garden, I have to recommend the fish.
I will have fish then.
I've already put my order in, so I'm all right.
It's clear to Alex that Mark has his finger in way too many pies,
One avocado, one monkfish, another monkfish and a venison.
which could be the root of the Meudon's problems.
I understand completely that you are a team, but I think you're a team that needs something to change. How do you feel about either having someone invest some money in the hotel or taking on a manager who you could give some future percentage of, success to?
My answer is quite simple. If we went down one of those sorts of roads, I would just pull out altogether.
Here comes our food. Lovely.
Thank you, dear.
And it isn't just Alex's dining companion that's short of inspiration. The food may have been to Alex's taste, but the presentation was hard to swallow.
Like many aspects of the Meudon, the menu here really does feel like a blast from the past. I want the Meudon to regain its AA rosette, but they're going to have to seriously update and upgrade their offering here.
Alex will need to drag the Meudon out of the Dark Ages. Otherwise, it could be curtains for the family business.
My God, you're out there.
Can Mark spy a future for the Meudon?
You're a bit feisty.
You told me to grow a set and speak your mind.
Or will it still be Harry's game?
Not what I would have done.
Times changed, Dad.
The Meudon, near Falmouth, Cornwall, owned and managed by father and son, Harry and Mark Pilgrim. Falling occupancy rates and an appeal more vintage than vogue have driven the business and family relationships to the limit.
Not easy at the best of times. And now that the best of times aren't as good as they should be, the cracks are starting to show very, very clearly.
The Pilgrims are placing their faith in award-winning hotelier Alex Polizzi to help resurrect the Meudon's fortunes. So far, she's discovered dated decor
The decorator deserves to be bitch-slapped.
and the general manager spending too much time in his father's shadow.
It doesn't matter how high you climb up the managerial ladder, your hand is never very far from the S-bend.
Well, I've always said whoever is nearest is the one that's required.
After a sound night's sleep, Alex has a plan for the Meudon's revival. First, she wants Mark to stop busying himself with menial tasks, stand up to his dad, and start acting like a real general manager.
Please don't take this ill, but you've been a bit wet about this. You're going to have to force his hand, because if he has his way, he's going to go on like this forever.
I feel very cruel talking brutally to my father, who I love dearly.
We've got to try and find a way out of this impasse. Is there really a future? Is this something that your family and you feel like you want to keep going through another generation?
Maybe not another generation, but certainly this one. We've got to turn the business around and get it back into profit. Everything hinges on that.
The next element, all at sea, is the restaurant. Alex believes a more appetising and up-to-date menu can bring in some desperately needed income from the locals through the lean off-season months.
I was very conscious talking to you yesterday that you said you'd lost your AA rosette and you'd like to get it back. But I think that you've got to accept that there may need to be some changes. And it is going to take a little bit of effort. It isn't going to be easy, but we can get there.
Last but not least, if the Meudons to survive, there need to be wholesale changes to the hotel's frumpy fixtures and fittings. Alex has arranged a very personal field trip for inspiration.
I'd like to take you, as it's just across the water, to my mother's hotel, not because I think that it is the best hotel in the world, but we do achieve 90% occupancy.
90? I would love half that.
I want to show you what it is that we're doing that's nice. I
Open my eyes to
yes,
the
and
future.
reconnect you a bit with what it is that the travelling public want.
The expectations are high, and the only thing high here currently is our prices.
I don't want you to drop your prices. I just want to raise your game.
Hotel Tresanton had a glittering reputation in the 50s and 60s as a hideaway for royalty and the jet set. But its salad days were long behind it when Alex's family bought it in the 1990s. A complete refurbishment and a sprinkling of Polizzi magic returned it to its former glory.
This room was done 15 years ago, but I think you'll agree that it still looks pretty fresh and nice.
It's unbelievable. It really is lovely.
Let me show you another room. So this is Rock Cottage.
Very picturesque in a slightly over-the-top sort of way.
The bedrooms too are pretty over the top. This is the second bedroom, and you have to admit it shows a certain bravura in design.
I have no idea what that means, but...
Well, it means
my
bravery.
God. Oh, my God, you're out there. With your permission, I won't try this at home.
Gosh, you're a bit feisty, aren't
Well,
you?
you know, you told me, you said grow a set and speak your mind.
Mark has a lot more spunk than he did last time I met him. I'm not sure how long it's going to last or whether it's entirely a good thing, even. But it was definitely a lot of fun.
Even Harry has a new spring in his step.
To be honest, marvellous hotel like that, I reckon we got an even better one. I really do.
I think what we found out is that the mountain we have to climb isn't quite as high as we thought.
With Mark convinced of the need to modernise, Alex wants him to take immediate action at the Meudon.
Now, I just have to point out to you all the errors of your ways in the suites.
Right.
This
It's terrible.
is not acceptable. Darling, and this one over here, which is actually
It's
even
worse.
worse. That's just, it looks awful. I'd like to whip them out and put them somewhere so that you're forced to confront this.
Yeah, of course. Oh, yes. I am glad you didn't like it.
Look at that table, darling. Let's take this out.
Yes, you don't have to be blind not to see that.
Look at that, though. That's a bad one.
But you do have to be rich to replace them.
Yeah, I know. There's quite a steep hill to climb, isn't there? Every single room, something's wrong with. Gosh, looking at all of them, they look pretty shabby, don't they,
Now that
darling?
they're out of the room, they look even worse. They're absolutely firewood.
What are we going to do?
Box of matches.
The Meudon's executive suite also comes under fire.
I just loathe the fact that everything's so bloody pink. There's the wallpaper, there's this brocaded curtain, there's this funny pattern on the sofas, and just in case you missed that the theme was pink, you have a pink bedspread and a pink carpet. Most people who go to hotels don't expect this anymore.
Alex decides to refurbish the suite herself as a template for father and son to follow.
I'm going to give you something that I think, with my experience, the modern traveller, let's say 40 to 60-year-olds, 40 to 70-year-olds, are going to like, are going to come to, are going to spend money for. Yeah.
So all we've got to do is find the money to multiply that by 29.
Well, as many as you think. You at least do a block of 10 or 20 or 15 or whatever you think.
The hotel inspector departs, hoping her plans to modernise are not too late.
I tell you what, I'm completely in love with this hotel, and I believe that it can have a wonderful future as long as the family are prepared to go all the way with me.
These new changes start today, now. I think Alex has given us the confidence that if we put the money in, we will see it come back tenfold. And I thought you had to make it. Sounds like we're going to have to borrow it so that we can make it. I just hope that we turn the business around, because I don't want to fail with an enormous debt around my ears, as opposed to fail with a really rather small debt.
While Alex's team begin work revamping a bedroom suite, Mark takes to his role as general manager with renewed vigour.
Seeing where things could so simply be improved really makes you feel good. And ultimately, it's good for the guests, because when they come here, they can see the passion that I've got for this wonderful, wonderful place.
How you doing there, Mark?
With the family business on the line, Mark's sister Gay steps in. As one of the Meudon stakeholders, she's eager to lend moral and critical support in Mark's quest to turn around the hotel.
Tell me you hate them.
Yes, I do.
Right, that's enough of them.
I'll drag you, push.
No, it's got to go up in the air.
Seriously?
Absolutely, I'm not having the ruined carpet ruined.
Me? With your carpet's 1 million years old, you can't ruin
Well,
this.
it needs to do another 1 million before it paid for
No,
itself.
it's got to go.
At the very least, it's nearer the door on the way out.
Along with the rooms being refreshed, Alex finds the restaurant cuisine could also do with an update to create a new and contemporary menu. But will the food go down well with the staff?
Hanging on to something because we've always done it that way is a recipe for oblivion.
Never tried this, so I'm going to have a go. Fish and beautiful.
The new look menu doesn't meet with universal approval.
It all looks very nice, but it looked a darn sight better if we'd got the ivy plates. Where are they?
I think you just, well, it's, time's changed, Dad, and we've got to move on. And this size of plate is the future, something the size of a doorstop.
OK, well, that's way above my head, I'm afraid. It's not what I would have done, which we very successfully did for 40-plus years. But things have moved on, so I'm assured.
It isn't just the old menu that's been cleared away. Alex's team has finished transforming the dowdy bedroom suite into a stylish and sophisticated haven for the modern, discerning traveller. But will it meet with the approval of Gay, Mark, and more importantly, Chairman of the Board, Harry?
It's just beautiful and simple.
Everything blends in beautifully.
Oh, my. Oh, Alex.
If you walk into a room and say, what a lovely room,
It's lovely.
Yeah.
it's good.
Good.
If you walk into a room and say, oh, what a wonderful picture, the room's wrong. Because it shouldn't be.
I
But the
completely
overall,
agree.
and
Lovely.
that is what you get immediately.
It's frightening until it's done.
I know.
With Alex's sparkling room renovation ready to shine a light on the Meudon's potentially bright future, 85-year-old Harry finally agrees Mark is ready to drive the hotel forward alone.
I think he's taken on board that it is worth getting hold of some more money and do what is required. I know Mark can do it, there's no question. I'll stand right back and he can do it his way.
And Mark wastes no time getting started with his own refurbishment plans. But with the bank unwilling to lend him the money, he has to dig into the family savings to help fund the hotel's modernisation. The restaurant receives a much-needed lick of paint. One of the standard bedrooms receives an upgrade. And the uninspiring bridge lounge is smartened up.
I've got paint samples and carpets coming out of my ears. And it's sometimes difficult to know which way's up. It's a great orchestra that all has to come together in a very tight time frame. I can always hear Alex's voice in the back of my head going, you can't do this and you can't do that. We've got a unique setting, we've got a unique product, and therefore the furnishings and fabrics that we do have to be for us.
Will the modern Meudon look out of this world?
Have you arrived at a different planet?
And will Mark have to sing for his supper?
Riding on a donkey.
Two years ago, Alex Polizzi met father and son team Harry and Mark Pilgrim at the Meudon in Cornwall, hoping to bring some harmony to their 29-bedroom hotel.
As long as you're the big boss, then I have to play your tune.
To help recapture the hotel's glory days, newly inspired general manager Mark and sister Gay set about bringing change to the Meudon. But with the renovations eating deep into the family savings, Alex knows she has to move fast to drum up some desperately needed custom to keep the Meudon afloat. She's arranged for influential locals, plus an array of journalists, to visit for a gala lunch, aimed firmly at putting the forgotten hotel back on the Cornish tourist map. But will the new-look modern Meudon meet with the hotel inspector's approval?
Wow!
Have you arrived at a different planet?
Oh my goodness! I love the birds, I love the paintwork all being so nice and clean and white. The stripe is beautiful, the cushions are good. The art!
The art.
Because that's a difficult one to pull off, darling.
The new standard room also receives the thumbs up.
Come on in.
Very, very, very nice. Well done. Oh, I'm so excited.
Immediately you walk in, it's bright, it's light, and it's colourful.
We are on the curve.
Yeah, I think you're doing pretty damn well, I have to say. I'm really, really impressed.
45 years ago, you know, we were the thing, but we very quickly had gone downhill. We're no longer the thing, but this is.
With the lunch about to start, Mark demonstrates the skills required for a general manager, leading from the front.
Today is really important for Meudon. We need to excel and show the local public and those dignitaries that we've invited just what we can achieve every single day of the week. This is the job that we do, and we must do it really, really well today. Guys, you've all got a lot to do. Let's get on and do it.
Good,
Thanks
well
very
done.
much.
A rousing speech. Okay, let's hope the sun stays out. The food is good. The staff are as, you know, happy and as convinced of what we're doing here as they appear to be.
As the doors open, the Pilgrim family pull together to welcome their VIP guests.
Thank you very much.
There are masses of people arriving. It's rather nerve-wracking. A good cross-section. I've got representatives of local papers, national papers, travel directories. Hopefully the message about the changes at Meudon is going to go out to millions of people. There's a lot at stake here.
As the guests take their seats for lunch, Mark has arranged some typical Cornish entertainment.
Waggle and wriggle with a roll and go. Riding on a donkey. Way, hey, away we'll go, donkey riding.
In the kitchen, Alex makes sure there isn't a repeat of the old-fashioned food presentation.
What are you sending out today?
I'm using Bream, that's in Bream Cove. Cockles from the Halford, just up the road, so...
Lovely, darling. And that looks lovely.
That's the beetroot coulis, yeah.
Delicious.
Good.
Looks amazing.
The menu has Alex's seal of approval, but how will the diners rate the new culinary experience?
I never shall forget her eyes, they shone like diamonds, and the evening it was wet, wet, wet to the hair.
I like the presentation. The fish looks a lovely colour.
We roved all night.
Really nice. Beautifully done.
You know, to sit here, it's a lovely lunch venue, or perhaps in the evenings when it's light, to have this beautiful view, you know, and lovely food. Who can ask for anything better? And the sort of thing you'd expect to see in a really top-class restaurant.
Mark, with his father's blessing, has clearly put the Meudon's restaurant back on the map. But will the new rooms also hit the same high note?
Really, really like it. Because it's much fresher, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thanks, darling. It doesn't look old-fashioned now.
From my perspective, it would make an excellent addition to Britain's finest. For that reason, I'm going to put them straight onto the website in the hope that we can sort of help boost their figures and get more people in here.
It's so much brighter, cleaner looking.
I've never been here and seen the gardens, and it's fantastic. I absolutely love it, and the kids are having a ball, so it's brilliant.
The day finishes on a high, with the Meudon appearing in good shape for the future.
There is no doubt that we'd slipped. I hadn't realised how far.
All right, my darling, I'm off.
You're on your way.
Don't get up.
This place has a really good, sustainable future, one where people could come here, realise that they've arrived in Shangri-La and never want to leave.
It's 2 years since Alex first visited the Meudon.
You would have been hard-pushed to find a guest under the age of 65. It felt like an old people's home.
She's keen to find out if the hotel has stayed on the right track for improvement.
I was really concerned for the Meudon. I didn't know how they were keeping things going, and the fortunes of an entire family rested upon its shoulders.
Hello, Alex. Hello. How are you, darling?
Very happy to be here.
So nice to see you again.
So tell me, who's running it? Who's doing it? Where's Harry? What's the kind of family dynamic at work?
I've stepped away from the coalface of looking after the guests. Dad has effectively retired.
Except he doesn't like to use that word, does he?
No, definitely not. He's still in control.
Yeah.
And Gay's come in, and she is surging forward with the business.
Good, so you're happier?
I'm ecstatic, because who knew that I was a gardener? I didn't. I just went outside because I couldn't stay inside any longer.
Yeah.
Being an experienced hotelier, you know, 5th generation, was my shift, and it was going pear-shaped. In the end, it just got to me. I knew what needed to be done, but felt that it wasn't me that could deliver it.
Mark now devotes all his attention to the hotel's 8 acres of subtropical garden, leaving Sister Gay to manage the Meudon.
It's just the best thing that's ever happened to me. I thank my big sister for that.
Oh, good.
Well, she saved me. How very fortunate to have a family member who's pretty much put their life on hold. She never expected or wanted necessarily to be a hotelier, but has done the job superbly well.
Gay immediately set about securing funds to breathe new life into the business.
Because I had not been to the hotel for, say, like 15 years, it was quite like, whoa, a little bit of a time warp. We stripped everything, we painted everything, we decorated everything that we possibly could that didn't cost money and that we could do ourselves. And then when the money came through, we then started buying the carpets and curtains. Mark, all he could see was me destroying what was already there.
You were ruthless.
And thinking, how is that ever going to get back to being comfy again? Even if a few customers have to step over some paint pots, at least they realise that something's happening.
Tell me about your clientele. Have they changed at all?
We've offended some people who just loved the pink and green, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, Alex doesn't know everything, you know, darling. But when you're talking to a room where there's only one other person in it, that's wrong.
Yeah.
Now we're talking to a room that's full.
Yeah.
Change is the name of the game.
Yay! We've got a cracking head chef now. He's got a new young team, all under 30. So the menu was completely rewritten.
I'm dying to see what changes you've made.
Okay.
Well, come on through.
Okay.
One of my lasting memories of this place is the sitting room in particular, a terrible old relic with dated decor and completely stuck in the past. The lovely floor. Where's the carpet gone?
We had to put it in storage because Dad said I'd be putting it back down in 12 months.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
It's absolutely beautiful. It's original to the house.
And I love having the bar here.
Yeah.
That was me.
That was Mark.
Put my foot down on that.
He did,
I
yeah.
think you're
On rare
absolutely
occasions.
right.
Yeah.
I really do.
The pink and
Boundaries.
green has gone.
I love it. I am quite overwhelmed.
This is very, very different from where we were.
I'm happy to see it like this.
Can I get you a Prosecco, madam?
Love all your art, though.
But what about the once dowdy bedrooms?
I'm just giggling because I love this.
Do you?
I love the pattern.
This is where you first stayed.
Wasn't it a
couple of
really
years ago.
strong kind of dark green?
Masculine, yes. It might have gone girly now.
I want it to stay flowery.
Good.
I think
Well,
it's got
it's-
to
yeah.
stay.
Well, I thought that when I saw it, and I said, hang on a minute, this
did
is
argue,
the
didn't
same
you?
theme that I was going with flowers.
And I'd give you, but
But
they're
it's
modern
completely
flowers. Happy to have modern flowers.
Do you think?
Flowers are flowers.
Darling, your idea of decorating was kind of
I thank you for the yes.
mean.
I can take the slap now. I couldn't before.
How many bedrooms do you have in total?
29.
How many have you done?
17.
Gosh.
We got some money from the bank, which means that we've been able to invest.
Because you didn't want to do that.
We had to. We wouldn't be here today if we hadn't. Yeah,
Well,
the
I always said
product's
to you,
here.
if you ever wanted to sell, make sure you gave me first refusal. Remember?
You're going to have to pay a little bit more now.
I know! Damn it!
Yeah. Still garden for you, though, if you want it.
Keep a roof over your head. I'm really impressed. The fact that they could even envisage it into the immediate future is rather astonishing. The bedrooms are looking fantastic. I'm very pleased they've changed the carpets in various areas. There's still some way to go, but I completely agree with their strategy of only being able to develop as they have the money to do so.
With the hotel now looking more delightful than dated, has it had any effect on the old ruler of the roost?
Hi, Harry.
Hello, my dear. Good to see you again.
Lovely to see you.
Well, a fair bit's happened since you've been here.
Gay's just done a lot, and Mark is so much more cheerful.
He's a new man, bless him. He really is. How much have you seen?
Obviously, this,
Ah.
which I love.
Well, I'd rather walk across a Wilton carpet than I would a wooden floor, but there we are.
I think
Everybody else seems to like it, so that's, people come. That's the great thing.
And the restaurant is going great guns, I'm told.
Wayne has turned out to be absolutely superb. You spotted that. You were in the kitchen and you had a taste.
Delicious.
And I saw your eyes light up from a value point of view. Don't run away with the idea that it's just rushing in. It is not. But it's not making a loss.
Are you happy with how everything's gone?
Oh, very, very happy. I really am. What Gay has cleverly done, and which has been our main saviour, is local trade.
I know.
They've never thought that we were worth looking at.
And they've made some brilliant decisions. You've closed at Christmas the last couple of years, which is very, very sensible.
Well, the people that used to come for Christmas really were of the older brigade, and like me, don't like change. And if you're going to keep a hotel open and nobody in, it's not on.
No, of course.
You really can't play to an empty house.
No, I agree. And I'm glad to see you so well.
All the places that you go and visit, how come you visited us again?
Because I love it here. This is my favourite hotel ever. And I wanted to give you all a kiss again.
Bless you.
Harry is the most charming man. I'm glad that he has accepted, maybe slightly less than willingly, but accepted the changes that need to be made here. And he's done it with grace. Mark had really had enough, and I'm glad that he has managed to do something that he really enjoys. And Gay stepped up to the plate, and I know it's hard work, but someone had to do it, or they had to sell. So good for Gay.
With the Meudon now in full glory,
I think there's every element necessary to make for a fantastic wedding venue.
can Mark and Gay step up to the plate one more time?
We can't pop a wedding in.
2 years since her last visit, Hotel Inspector Alex Polizzi has returned to the Meudon in Falmouth, Cornwall. Inspired by its new look, Alex wants Mark and Gay to consider other business opportunities and build on their success.
I have this idea that this would be a perfect wedding venue. I would like you to work out what you could rent this for exclusive use.
We got a business and it's running. We can't pop a wedding in, you know, the evening and everything else with other guests in the house.
I know,
So
it has to,
be
that's why I
exclusive.
said it has to be
And then, of
exclusive
course, it
use.
has to pay for either side, because if it's generally over a weekend, then you lose your Thursday and Monday business.
Well, I'm in the
Yeah.
same business as you, so I
Yeah.
really get all
Yeah.
the parameters of the
Yeah.
equation. People tend to book those
Yeah.
2 years in advance.
Yeah.
And so you've got this date in the diary, all you say is
Yes.
that we're fully booked that weekend. Think through what it is exactly that guests need or what a bride wants, because
Yeah.
it's ultimately down to her, isn't
Yeah.
it? Or her mother.
Yes.
And 2-day exclusive use
Yeah,
here
okay.
would cost X.
Okay,
And
yeah.
Mark, I would like you to point out what amazing spots there are in the garden for photos that you would
Yeah.
have here, which would be sublime.
The backdrop is the perfect place to have a unique wedding.
Alex has arranged for a wedding planner and the editors of a bridal magazine to visit, in the hope they'll fall in love with the Meudon.
So these people are coming in an hour, and we're going to...
Thanks, Alex.
Well, I didn't want to just come and go, ooh, 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 look, lovely, well
Yeah.
done you, pat on the back, and then disappear again.
Yeah,
So I
that's
want to walk away from here
Yeah,
feeling
yeah.
that we've achieved something.
Okay.
Okay?
Let's go
Thanks,
warm up the
Alex.
calculator.
See you in a minute. Cornwall's been fashionable for weddings for ages, but they have a few natural advantages here, something that very few hotels can boast. I think there's every element necessary to make for a fantastic wedding venue.
If Gay can make the figures add up, she could tap into an industry worth billions of pounds each year.
How are you going?
Yeah, good.
Let's have a look.
Yeah. Okay. I think we need to be taking around that per day,
Yeah.
because that's all we can accommodate.
And
food.
dinner.
Yeah.
For one night.
Yeah.
So menus, let's have a
Menus,
look.
yep.
£47.50.
£47.50. So you've got some expensive items in there for that
Yep.
kind of money.
Is there a cheaper menu and a more
It's
expensive
cheaper,
menu?
yeah. You can see the difference in the food.
Good.
But will the special guests be impressed enough to offer new business opportunities at the Meudon?
This is Gay.
Hello, hi, hiya.
Hi, Gay.
Hi, welcome to Meudon. It's my family's place.
Thanks very much.
Follow me.
Cool, great.
So this is our lounge and bar. Okay, this is where people would meet and greet each other, and the family would get together and have a drink. Cornish products behind the bar as well, which are very important.
People really want that stamp of Cornish identity on their weddings now.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful space.
And okay, the restaurant's still in the old part. So this is our restaurant. The wooden floor for dancing.
Yeah.
We can cater for 70.
Right.
And the 70 will be here for a formal sit down.
Fantastic outlook for
Beautiful.
a wedding reception.
Absolutely beautiful, yeah, come and have a look. We had actually considered putting a structure down at the beach
Yes.
for people to get married down by the beach rather than in the main house.
And then more than likely they're going to book the whole lot here then, aren't they?
So do you want to come and talk numbers?
Yes.
With Gay's alternative proposal accepted, it's time to see if her figures stack up.
So that's a £40 a head menu.
Oh, sorry.
42 and that's 47. So I gave you a range, really.
Okay.
And Gay has one final ingredient to try and seal the deal.
Hi there. How you doing? Very
Head
good,
chef
thank you.
Wayne, who's in charge of the kitchen and does a really cracking job for us all.
You had any teething problems in cooking for numbers? You know, maximum numbers, etc. Stuff coming out.
To be honest, all the things that we have, all crab cakes and that, we make those up a day in advance, really. So they're all in the fridge, ready for on the day of the wedding. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, good luck. Cheers.
Right, numbers. That's what it's all about.
I'm hoping to get some advice for Gay, but also some encouragement. It is nice to have the affirmation of people who really know what the wedding market is like.
It's £40 a head. I'm thinking there's a 10% wiggle in there for next year. Around about £4,000 per night for around 60 people, dinner, bed and breakfast.
I think it's a very competitive price.
Good, good. That's
Very
what I want to
competitive.
hear.
Yes.
I always joke that it's Cornwall's best kept secret.
Yeah, I never knew about it.
Did you not?
No.
You've not been here before?
No, I've lived in Cornwall. I've never seen the place. And I'm in the industry too.
Come be a visitor now, won't you?
Yeah, of course.
Come and see us.
Finally, can Mark convince his guests the hotel gardens provide the perfect wedding setting?
There's lots of space so the kids can run around without being in trouble. There's an Italian sunken garden which would look great as a backdrop. And you can walk all the way down to the sea. In fact, you could arrive by boat. Wouldn't that be romantic?
Yeah. There's not many venues that can offer that. Definitely not.
Have Mark and Gay done enough to create new interest in the Meudon?
Tell me, what did you think?
There are some carpets that definitely need replacing.
Oh, yes, there's one carpet.
Yeah. Brides don't want to worry about floral carpets clashing with their bridesmaids' dresses. They want everything as neutral as they can so they can really inject their personality and their colour. And
do you ask her about prices?
You haven't got an issue with the pricing at all. I think it'd be more popular than she thinks it will be.
Good.
I think so, and the prices that we were quoted are very competitive in comparison to other venues.
I think that's what they have on their side here. The main selling points would be the location. The location is awesome, if not by far one of the best locations in Cornwall I've seen. It's potentially, like I said, it could be a dominant force in the wedding industry in Cornwall. I'm not lying.
That's so nice.
Yeah,
that's really encouraging.
With a match made in heaven on the cards, Alex gives the news.
They loved it. The only negative comment was about that carpet.
Yes, yes.
And the carpet in the
reception.
Which is
Which
amazing.
is great, because they're already earmarked
They're earmarked,
for
yeah.
on the way out.
Loved the garden, very excited about the private beach. Yeah. Said that your pricing was very, very good value and that you'd be amazed at how many people would want to take it up. You definitely have legs to this thing, basically. Without putting too much on your wedding page on your website, just make sure that you say you're available for exclusive midweek or weekend weddings. Prices starting from £4,000 a night for dinner, bed and breakfast. Yeah. Who would object to that?
What's not to like?
What is not to like?
When I first met you, I was like, I'm going to rule the world, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. As you left, you went, just keep your eye on the basics. Suddenly realised what you were talking about. I then went, oh, actually, what we need to give them is bloody good food, good wine, good service, etc.
Goodness gracious me, how far have you come?
There's a little bit of thanks there for you. You did come in and give us the good kick up the backside. And I'd much rather you did that than the bank manager came here and took the keys away. So thank you very much.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you. That's okay. Thank you.
I loved seeing you, darling. You're doing brilliantly. Well done. I promise not to leave it another 2 years.
No, don't.
I'll be back with the kiddies.
Yeah, do that.
See you soon.
Okay.
Cheerio. Bye.
Bye. It's wonderful to see Alex. To get praise as well is icing on the cake of 2 years of very hard work.
It's wonderful to see Gay and Mark in such good form. It couldn't have happened to nicer people. And you know, it is incredibly hard to turn a failing business around, and I'm very impressed. I wish them much more success.